Hey everybody, welcome back to my podcast. I am your host, Jada Sharice. Last episode 9 with Stephanie Robinson was just so heartfelt and amazing. I really hope that you guys were blessed from that episode. We're going to keep the story going as she talks about, more encounters that she had with God, but more importantly, how does she remain faithful to God in a world, that's just full with chaos, or even her peers and family members, the people that she hang around, they may do things that she doesn't do. But she still, is around those certain crowds, but she's able to maintain her identity and who she is and keep her promises. So we're going to talk about heartbreak, how she found God through heartbreak and got closer to him, and also where she is now, what's she doing, what is she up to, her purpose. So without going any further, I'll bring Stephanie on. Stephanie, again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Jada.
Absolutely. The last episode was so touching. I had chills looking at you, and I didn't know if we should stop or take a break because, you were emotionally unfiltered.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, sharing your story for someone who's listening, someone who's going through this, somebody who's going through adoption or has been through it and hasn't forgiven, who doesn't know God and what he could do and free them from if they did have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
So with this episode, tell me about the relationship part of it, as far as being in a relationship, being abused and, these deal breakers and things like that. So tell me what you went through that actually led you to getting closer to God again.
Okay, so I was in a 7-year friendship.
Okay.
With the 3 years of relationship, so 10 years altogether.
Okay.
And with them being in this relationship in the past, I was still, having trouble at home. But I'd rather been with him than go home. With him, it was all good. It was sad. It was happiness. It was a wreck. But his pain was better than the pain at home. So I stuck with that pain.
Girl.
I didn't know then. I just felt,
wow,
this pain is better than this pain, so I'm going to just stay with this pain.
You don't even know what you just said right now. When I say that's a word... Wow. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just love words, and okay, go ahead before I get into something.
It was true.
So his pain was better than the pain that you were experiencing at home.
Correct.
Okay.
So I decided to deal with his pain because his pain was an outlet. It'll be good for like a week, and then traumatizing for the rest of the month, and then go good, back, bad, good, and bad. But I loved it. Loved it. Yes, I loved it because this was someone that I was still able to open up to, give myself to him. And that's really one of it. Ladies, I would like to say, before you get into a relationship, if you're spiritual, definitely talk to God about it. Because if it's not from God, you don't want it. He can be handsome. You guys can have fun. He can be good and bad, excuse me. But if it's not love, it's not love, ladies. And don't ever put yourself short to no man. God has a man. God has a husband. God has a king for us all. We just got to get ourselves together first and actually be able to want that husband.
And to receive that.
And to receive it.
Because God is waiting on us sometimes.
Yep.
You're not ready for this. You're going to miss it.
Exactly.
I'm not giving this to you yet. I don't trust you with it, you know.
And that's true.
And that was my situation. I knew what I wanted, but I also had to come to a point where I knew that I wasn't ready for it because I was broken.
Yeah.
I was traumatized. I was damaged. And I also had to be able to give what I was asking for. Sometimes we want something in a man that we can't even give out, And God was also like, you need to work on this relationship with you and I before you get into another relationship.
Exactly.
So go ahead.
And that's definitely the truth. Love your father first. And then, he'll bring in your husband. But you have to be ready for your husband. So I definitely agree with that. And so years went by, and I was the one who was like, you know what? I want to commit. I want to be with you. even though it was pain in the relationship when we weren't together. This was one of those.
Y'all should see my face. I'm so confused.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say you decided to walk away.
No.
But you wanted commitment.
I wanted commitment. And this is when I said in the first recording, I was dead. When you dead, you don't know anything. You're dead. Jesus rebirthed me later on. 2017.
Yeah.
So even though I was going through pain, and it's funny to say he would cheat, but we weren't together. Mm-hmm. But we're together. He was cheating, all that. I was cheating as well, but I wanted him. It was something that just drove me towards him. He was my demon. God bless him. You know, he is good. Everything he wants, he should get. But he was my demon. He was something that I couldn't get over. I needed it.
You craved him.
I craved him.
Even with the pain.
I loved it. It was nurturing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
go ahead.
And so, the 7th year, I opened up. I said I loved you. I told him I loved him, and I want to be with him and commit. And let's grow and let's build and let's start over and let's leave the pain in the past. He agreed to it. You know, we committed, and there was still problems. Mm-hmm. How dare I want to commit to pain and suffer? I didn't know. I was dead then. I didn't know anything. I thought that was right. It felt good, so this must be good.
Right.
And ladies, even if it feels good, if that man is not respecting you, if that man is mentally abusive to you, physically abusive to you, it's not right. I don't care if he's an outlet for 2 seconds. Within that hour, he's supposed to treat you as his queen.
Yeah.
No matter what, if he fears God. Always be with a man that fear God. Because if he fear God, he know how to love himself and love you.
Okay.
So, that 7th year, he became abusive.
So when you actually got into the relationship, he became abusive.
Yes. And I'm thinking, okay, are you abusive because you don't want to be with me? You could just tell me, you know what, Stephanie, I don't want to do this anymore. It was, he lost his job. He was insecure. I had my own place. I had a car at the time. So I was the provider in a relationship. I pursued him or whatnot. I was taking care of him, you know. And by me being the man in the relationship, I know that hit him hard. I didn't know at the time because I'm giving him everything. I'm giving him my all. It's okay, baby. You know, we go fill out these applications. You're going to get a job. I'm uplifting him, being that great influence. But he's seen it as, you think you're better than me because you got your apartment first, because you got your vehicle first, and I'm still here. No, baby, we can do this together. He went through my phone. I was cheating. He seen that, and he acted out of anger, and he became physical. I left. I went back.
Why'd you go back?
He was all that I know. He was all that I know. Even when he hit me, I still wanted to stay. Like, I didn't even want to get in my car and leave. I went back within 5 days. It was, baby, I'm sorry. Baby, I'll never do this again. And that was my first time. So I'm like, I can deal with... At the time, I thought I can deal with you cheating and your mental abuse, but you hitting me, no. But if this is going to be your last time, I'll give you a chance.
Right.
Even though we all knew I was going to go back to him regardless of the hands and everything. I didn't care. You my man. You know, I see something in you.
Wow.
And the next time, it would be little things, as in he think that I have guys over because he's not at my home. And I would always be at his house. So when I wanted to finally leave his home, his mother home, to go to my home, he'll think I'm only going home to be with a man. We'll fight.
Yeah.
We fought in front of his parents. You know, and that was really tough. It was sad for me to get beaten up in front of his parents. And it was sad for his mother to actually see me going through that. Like, she cried.
What did they do, though?
Well... They forced us to stop, and they sat me down and told me, Stephanie, you don't need this. You're better than this. They immediately, once the man parent tell you leave,
okay,
you should leave.
Right.
No, I didn't want to leave. whatever, it's not going to happen again. This craving he gives me, like, I just need it.
You can't live without it.
I couldn't live without it. I want to show you love that I never felt. I want to show you something that I never felt. So how dare me try to think that I'm showing him love and I don't even know what love is.
Oh, I got chills. I can relate. You know, sometimes I've learned that, looking back on my past, sometimes when we stay, we have a ton of reasons why we stay. But then we try and love the way we didn't receive. We give what we didn't receive, you know.
That's wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
And so that was another reason why I stayed, because I had these visions of us being together forever.
Yeah.
And that definitely wasn't the case. So the last time, you know, he actually broke up with me. I'm like, okay, cool. But I was like, no. No, we're going to stay together. I don't care. The woman that he was cheating on me for, he ended up being with her. He's still involved with her.
Okay.
I left work because I'm like, I'm not going to take this break up over the phone. We need to speak face to face. And he was like, I'm not going to be at home. Don't come to my home. And I can tell you, when I say this was the enemy and God, this is real. When I left work, I did not know how to get home. Yes. And I know it sounds crazy. When I left work, I did not know how to get home. I literally ended up at his house.
Girl, shut up.
No joke. I was driving in circles, Jada. My mind was gone, Jada. I did not know how to get home. No, I was not drinking. No, I was not smoking. I just, okay, where we going?
The enemy led you there.
And the enemy really led me there, Jada. I'm like, oh, snaps. So I see the girl car. So his window was always open, so I went through the back, put a chair down.
Crazy.
I opened the window. I don't know what they were doing, but it was covers over them. I'm like, mother, you know, I cussed them out or whatnot. You broke up with me to be with her. She's the reason why we're not together or whatnot. You could have just told me. He said, I did tell you. So I'm like, no, whatever. So I went to the front. I started, like, beating on her car. Then it hit me, like, why are you trying to damage her car? You know, she don't have nothing to do with this. Even though she knew we were together when she stepped in and played her part. You know, he ended up hitting me. I fell to the ground. And that's when God was like, either you want this or you're going to leave right now. I called the police because I said I'm leaving. So I called the police. She ended up, the girl that he was with, she took the case. She went to jail. I say, yeah, they belong together.
Wait, what?
Yes, it was so embarrassing.
Like, she did the time for him.
Yes.
She held herself responsible for everything.
The police detained her because she told the officer that she was the one that blacked my eye at the time.
Wow.
Both of the officers, they didn't believe her. But since she agreed to it, they still took her to jail. I'm like,
right.
You feel me? Like, we're two women, let's be honest. Nothing's wrong with her and only something with me. Okay.
Yeah.
So that right there, it was embarrassing and it hurt. You chose her over me, and then she took a case for you. I was done. And
I'm glad.
I was really done because my sister... My family had to witness my eye for at least a month straight healing. I quit my job because I didn't want to go to work and be embarrassed. I didn't even want anyone to know. For a week straight after that incident, I cried, I hollered, I screamed, I couldn't sleep. I let everything out. Everything that was in me dealing with him out of my system. I let it go. I forgave him. I was over with. I mean, I forgave him, and we just lost contact. But, you know, God bless him.
Right.
And his family. And I wish him well. Yeah.
And that's forgiveness.
That's definitely forgiveness.
When she could say that.
I'm not upset with him because, honestly, everyone in this world, they get used. You're either going to be used by the enemy or you're going to be used by a father. But the enemy don't know once he uses. We learn from that. Right. That's something that he doesn't know because he's a fool. You know. So even though I was in that predicament, it was to love myself It was to know that, okay, I know Jesus got me out of this situation. I trust my Father. And I trust myself to never go through that again. I don't even think he's that person. Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like that was something for me to go through and to learn.
Yeah. So was it a lot of praying? Like, how did you really make your exit with no return and forgive him?
After looking at myself in the mirror and just not seeing Stephanie, that's when I was truly done. I prayed to God. I told God, I will follow you if you can stop me from going back to him, to this person that I thought loved me, to this person that I thought I loved. I prayed, I cried, I cleansed myself for 7 days. Like, I walked alone, I listened to motivational speakers, gospel. I just filled myself with love. Yeah. The best way that I knew how. Mm-hmm. Got into the Bible, you know, and just trusted Jesus. And I never looked back. Yeah. I never looked back.
And then you guys just lost contact and that was it, right?
We lost contact. And then his mother contacted me. She was saying how he missed me. Yeah.
Girl.
How dare you, right?
I always say you have to block his number, stop checking on his
everyone
mama.
Else.
Like,
yes.
When you cut him off, you got to cut everybody else off.
When she called, it was a surprise. Like, why are you calling me?
This is the same lady who set you down and said to leave. Now you telling me he missed me.
Mm-hmm. He missed me.
How dare you?
The girl that he's with, she's nothing like, ooh, I'll have to call you back.
Okay.
You know?
Because I don't need this.
Exactly.
I rebuke this.
God bless you.
Yeah.
How dare you, enemy, try to sneak up on
me?
Like, that was so lame to me. Like, you tried it.
It was lame with the enemy.
Yes. He's a lame. He's funny, too. Like, this, you think this is going to make me backstab? No.
I'm weak. I love it, though. So... Then you got into another relationship, right? How long just healing did you need, spending time with yourself before you got into this next relationship?
Speaking of it now, I needed to heal longer than I did. I think I feel like, okay, let's say this. I was dealing with the person while I was with my ex.
Okay, got it.
Yep. So he knew about the situation and everything. So I didn't give myself no time.
So it was like an easy transition.
Yep.
Okay.
Which was, it was good, but now thinking on it, I feel like I should have healed more and gave myself some time.
Yeah.
I wish I would have knew before what I knew now.
Right.
So anyways, I met this guy, and I call him a gift from God, like literally, because the way it happened, it was like, I know that was you, God.
Yeah.
So I met him, we exchanged numbers, he pursued me, but I wasn't really interested, it was fun, but I'm like, that's not gonna work, but whatever, let's see, and he pursued me, but he was in a relationship and he had a side girl that he was talking to. So I'm like, why would I
in the midst of pursuing you?
Yes. So I'm like, why would I
ever?
Why would I ever? So we had a conversation. I said, you know what I've been through. I don't ever want to come in between you and your girlfriend or your side chick.
Yeah.
And if you want to be with me, you have to let those girls go. So that's something that I would never do today.
Yeah.
But then I didn't know. He still is a gift, and he still is a part of my life. Mm-hmm. He called me over. He had candlelight and a dinner. He made me dinner. Mm-hmm. Well, okay. And he sat me down and he held my hand and he looked me in my eyes. I said, oh my goodness. I knew something was up because he was like shaky and nervous. I'm like, well, it's me and this is your home. So why are you acting like this?
Yeah.
So he grabbed my hand and he looked me in my eyes and said, I broke up with them. I'm like, okay, whatever. So that's when we got together. For 3 months, everything was perfect. I didn't acknowledge him to my father, though. I never talked to God about him. Mm-hmm. Never. And that's something, when you ladies are blessed with something good, you open up to Jesus immediately.
He should be involved.
He should be involved.
You should be praying for discernment.
Exactly. I wasn't there. I was there, but I didn't think, this was just so good. It was so good that I'm like, I'm good, Father. I don't need you no more. That was a bad thing. This man was faithful. This man was loyal. This man was a man. If my car broke down, anything happened, he was a provider. He was there for me. He showed me that he cared. I never got that, and I loved it. Mm-hmm. The only thing, his deal breaker was he didn't want a woman that smoked.
Okay. smoked at all.
Smoked at all.
Okay.
He's big on health and everything. And I finally talked to my father. I haven't talked to him within months prior. And we haven't wrote or anything. And when I talked to him, he told me how someone was trying to kill him while he's in prison. And they put him in a hole, so he was not able to contact me. And that put me back. Like, okay. I was just thinking about that, like, oh my goodness, I met this man, don't know this man, but I haven't felt him, smelled him, opened up to my father, and somebody tried to take his life. I went to my friend's house, and I started smoking, and he watched me smoke and everything until I was finished. And he was like, well, I'm tired, I gotta get up in the morning, you gotta go to school. So I left. I texted him, he didn't respond. I went to sleep, I woke up. Normally, he would call, he would text, everything. He was there even when he wasn't.
When you say friend, you talking about?
My boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
Yep, I apologize. My boyfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to my boyfriend at the time house and I smoked. This is the guy who do the deal breaker. The deal breaker. Yes, you cannot smoke.
So he sat there and watched you smoke.
And watched
That's why you said it like that. Yep. Okay, I thought this was a random friend house.
He sat there, he watched me smoke. But it's so funny because God plays a part in everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you text him, he didn't text back?
Yes. I woke up the next following morning. He calls me. We're on the road together. I'm going to school. He's going, to work, and we're on the phone. I didn't have no contact. I immediately was like, he's back with his girlfriend, not knowing that I'm the reason why he cut me off. He went ghost Jada for 3 months. That never happened. He didn't tell me why he stopped talking to me. He blocked me. He just went ghost. I was so weak. And I asked my father, I wrote to him, how dare you bring something so good in my life and take it away? I want him back. And
when you say your father, you're talking about God?
I'm talking about God, yes.
Okay.
And I wrote him this awful letter. So after the letter, I burnt it, I went to sleep, and God showed up immediately. And it was a presence in my room that was so fearful. Like my spirit was shaking. My body was shaking. I was afraid. And I knew then the presence of the Lord was there. I know that God has a good presence, and he has a presence that, oh yeah, we gotta talk. Yeah. And that's the scariest thing. And he told me, I gave you somebody. I put someone in your life that loved you more than you loved him. I put someone in your life that was committed and you wasn't commitful. I was cheating.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you never once acknowledged me. You never once asked me, was this relationship okay? You never once just put my name in your mouth when I gave you this gift. Kevin is going because you smoke. I said, what? He said, yes. He said, he could have been your husband, but that is not your husband anymore. Instead of you wanting this man and writing to me, telling me to give him back, how about you love me? God told me to love him first. God told me to put my trust in him first. God told me to be with him first. God told me just to communicate everything God first.
Okay.
Because God is first.
Always.
Always. Now I know.
And everything else will align.
Exactly. Like, that's why I don't ask for nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's already mine, whatever it is that I want. And it hit me. I said, okay. He said, but I will put him in your life, and he will be your friend forever. Now, when I finally got in contact with my boyfriend at the time, who is now my ex, it was on New Year's. 2017.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, why would you ghost me? He was like, you started smoking. And I didn't tell him that it was really because God knew that I was unfaithful. God knew that I didn't love him the way that he loved me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't put God into our situation, even though he will. It was weird. And He was like, you was smoking, you know, that's a deal breaker. He was like, but I love you. I'm like, I love you too. And now we're business partners to this day. I'm like, you're not my husband, but you are my best friend. And
we're
I
still
love
growing
him.
together, getting money together.
Getting money together, growing together, everything great. So I still pray for him and his family. I pray for everyone. But I'm just so happy that he's still in my life, because he was definitely a part that built me, strengthened me, and influenced me to, you know, he was part of my journey.
Right. Wow, look at that. Look at that.
So everything is good now.
Okay. So are you dating now?
No, I am not.
What's your process of dating now? You know, you are totally different from your past.
Yes.
You know, you have been born again.
Yes.
So when you look for a man or qualities and characteristics, what are things that you look for? Because you are so faithful to God.
Yes.
You know, so how is that for you when it comes to dating?
Well, let's start by saying, I asked God, I said, I want to seek you first. All of you, be a virtuous woman, then I want my husband. So I'm going through the phase of I'm just learning God, being with God, experiencing his love, and just building myself.
Right.
And my entity or whatnot. So, yes, I desire a husband. Yes, I desire a family. It's already promised. So it's here in the spiritual, but not in the physical. So it's there. So when I do meet man, it's 3 questions. Do you fear God? Do you love God? Do you believe in his son? So automatically. Automatically.
That's me snapping, y'all.
Okay. Automatically, some leave and some stay. The ones that stay, you know, we exchange numbers. We go on a date. And right there and there, I see, okay, this is a man from God, but this is not my husband.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm in the process of dating and just learning how to be around men, because I haven't been around men in so long, or even just dated.
Yeah.
But your qualities, you have to love yourself. You have to fear God. You have to just be a family man. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Well, let me just comment on that. When I was getting out of that toxic cycle that I was in, because it was at the point where we weren't even together anymore, and it was a situationship, but it was toxic, and it was a cycle because of the convenience, because of the sex, because of the history. I had to get to a place where God was my way out of that relationship. He was what kept me out of the relationship, what kept me from going back, but so was the man that I'm with today. Because he told me, you need to give to God. You need to fast. God wants to do some things in your life. So it wasn't like Tyron came about and, you know, he took my attention away from my past. No, you know, he elevated me mentally and spiritually. And I was on such a high that whoever I dated next, they had to know God. You know, they had to know the Bible. They had to go to church. They had to have a relationship with God, because you can go to church and you don't have a relationship with God. You may not be walking with God. So with him, we had these conversations, and he told me he went to church every Sunday and he reads the Bible every day. And I'm just like, you're lying. You know, you just want to be with me. But that was who he was, you know. But I was so damaged, and, you know, I had been through some stuff. And I'm just like, you saying anything because you want my attention. But when I tell you, that man knows the Bible front and back, and he's just so loving and gentle, and the patience he has with me is just amazing. But what I love most is, at a time where I was so hungry for God and for gifts and to understand the Bible, Tyron stepped in, and I was telling him, I don't understand the Bible. I don't get it. It's boring. He said, you reading in the wrong version. So I'm like, okay. And then I understood. Then I was hungry. I love the stories. I love reading about it. He would check in on me. Did you read today? Did you read today? He still does that today, you know, in a relationship. But spiritually, he was everything that I needed, everything that I wanted. But my deal breaker was he had kids. And I had dated somebody who had a child,
Mm-hmm.
but I learned that it's not the child, it's the person that you date.
Yep.
Because you're gonna date somebody who wants to have two different worlds. He wants his baby mama, and then he wants something new.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a man
Mm-hmm.
who has his background in order and makes room for you to grow with you.
Correct.
And that's what Tyron did.
Yes.
You know, and it's just so beautiful because the way that he teaches the kids to respect me, and I respect them, and we build a relationship. But not once did I think I would ever be with somebody with kids.
Yeah.
But God will show you, this is what I have for you.
Yep.
Stop trying to create your own story when it's already done. You know, you have this deal breaker and you think about what you want, but I'm giving you what you need physically, mentally, and spiritually. And y'all, I love him so much. I love God. I love Tyron so much.
When being around you, it was just one. It wasn't just Jada or just Tyron. It was Jada and Tyron.
Stephanie,
I was like,
shut up.
No, seriously.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
And I'm like, you know what, Lord? Soon.
Yeah.
Soon.
We love each other so much, and we've always kept God as the foundation, even as friends, because he wanted me from the very beginning. I was like, I would never. But then I got to know him, and his spirit was so beautiful and pure and gentle, and he's remained the same, you know, even as friends. But a lot of people say that, you know, when they see us, they just feel the love and just great spirits, and I'm really, really grateful. I thank God for him every day. But I also had to ask God to recreate me for him. Because I had been through so much, and I had trust issues, and I had this world painted, you know, the life that I was going to have, and it didn't include kids right now. And the patience that he has with me. So I had to ask God to recreate me for the man that's in front of me, because I know that you sent him to me. I want to keep him. You know, change me, creating me a clean heart, a clean spirit, because I was still dealing with stuff from my past. But it's damaging when you take that to a new relationship, you know. So Tyron has helped me heal in ways, and he's so supportive of everything that I do. And he also has patience with me. But enough about him and all that good stuff.
All that love.
Where are you now? So you're not dating. You totally focused on God and, you know, still seeking him and getting closer with him. As far as, you know, your purpose, you know, what you said you stopped working because God told you to, right?
Definitely.
So tell us about that.
My purpose. So I was currently working. I enjoyed working when I was working, but the thing is, God has more for me, and we have plans that will prosper in due time. Yes. So it was like, you know what, Stephanie? Instead of this 9 to 5, how about you just be the entrepreneur that you want to be, that you're so passionate about,
and watch me provide.
So I trust him. I overcame my adoption, the breakup, everything. Whatever he did, whatever I asked him to do, it was done. So now he's telling me, okay, quit this job. I am Jehovah Jireh, and I would provide. So I'm like, okay. And I have my entity, Sweet 360 LLC, and what that involves is selling hair extensions.
Congratulations.
Vietnamese hair extensions.
And honey, y'all should see her hair right now.
No sheds, no tangles. Luscious, right?
It is beautiful.
Very extravagant. Thank you.
I mean, it's every time I see you, too. Your hair just swinging and hanging.
Without no
this is good hair.
Like, I can just hang her up, because this is a unit that I make. I make wigs as well. I can just hang her up, you know, brush her. Don't have to put no heat on it, put it back on.
Got it.
So so that's what I'm doing now, staying faithful to my Father, loving Jesus, loving my friends and my family, and just promoting my business.
How can they get in touch with you if they want some hair, you know, a wig made? How can they get in touch with you?
Okay, well, first of all, you guys can follow me online, which is off Instagram, 360 Extensions. I would definitely be glad to add you. And if you have any information about the bundle deals, the inch, a wig, the color, anything, you can kind of call me on my business line, 708-483-2219.
One more time.
The number is 708-483-2219.
And then 360 Extensions on Instagram, right?
360 Extensions on Instagram and Facebook.
I already hit her up last week. Like, okay, girl, when I take these braids down, I do need a wig made.
Yes.
Wow. This has been a blessing. Again, thank you for your presence, for your honesty. And I'm just excited what God is doing for both of us.
And you know,
go ahead.
Excuse me. I want to say another thing. I love your story when God put Tyron in your life to just push you closer to God. It's only me. you know. And for those people that has a relationship that pushes you towards God, that's great. And for the people that's not in a relationship and struggling on how to just stay faithful to God, just do it.
Yeah.
Because it's only me. I have nothing but the word. I have my prayer closet and the word. And sometimes I fall short and I get discouraged because I'm like, well, who else can do this with me?
Right.
But I feel like it was meant for me to do it by myself at the moment.
Right.
So I push myself. I motivate myself. And I trust and believe that soon I'll be my husband in Arizona.
Right. Yes. I love it. And we talked about that, you know, because you were saying sometimes you feel alone because you're doing it all by yourself.
Yeah.
But God hasn't led you to a church.
Yep.
You know?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Because on this hour, 3 weeks ago, I just went home. Like, okay, Jesus, look.
So after we left Hooters.
Yes, after we left Hooters.
So this was my birthday, y'all. Sunday, August 11th. I had a brunch and we ate twice that day.
Yes, we did.
We went to dinner at Hooters and I mean, I felt bad for his friend that was there because Tyron had one of his friends there, and we were just sitting there talking about God nonstop for like 30 minutes at the table. We felt the spirit and everything, and he was just sitting there. But hey, go ahead.
Yeah, God bless him.
Yeah.
And
so you went home after that.
I went home after that. You know, I got in my prayer class. I was like, look, Jesus, if you want me in a church, what church is it? What is the name and where's the location? And give me the reason why you want me to attend this church.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What? You went to church?
All I kept hearing was John Baptist. I'm like, John Baptist? Okay, where is John Baptist?
Right.
He was like, located in Indiana. John Baptist in Indiana. I immediately get on my phone. I typed in John Baptist. Of course, it correct me. And it's a St. John Baptist Church in Gary, Indiana. I said, Lord. I did my research. I said, Lord, is this the place? He said, yes. This was 3 weeks ago. I have not yet went.
You haven't
yet.
Went? Okay.
I might.
Wow.
Go this Sunday.
Okay.
But it was so fast and easy.
Right.
And it was like, I know this is my church.
I told you. I didn't say that was your church, but when we were at dinner, she was saying that it's hard because she's alone and she's by herself. And I said, well, maybe now is the time that God is telling you to go and find a church. And she said, maybe, you know, and Tyron agreed. And look at this.
Yes.
St. John Baptist Church.
Located in Gary, Indiana.
Wow.
So I'm definitely going to give it a try.
I would love to go with you, and I want to invite you to my church as well.
Definitely.
And you had commented on my Instagram. I posted my index cards.
Oh,
so I started at this new church that I've been going to. I love it so much.
I love the idea.
Every single Sunday, I am fed.
Yes.
I am yelling in church. You know, I'm just feeling it because the pastor is so, so wise. And from the very first time I was there, it was just solidified that this is where God wanted you to be. And I'm so hungry for the word. I do have these phases, you know, here and there, but for the last month or two, I have been so focused on God. Amen. The index cards that you're saying, I started my foundational classes. So before I can join the church, I have to finish, it's like a 10-week foundational class program. And we have to memorize 4 scriptures every week. So that's what I've been doing, you know, writing my scriptures down on an index card. I've been studying. Right now, I know Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 and 9. Yes! I'm so proud. And I just love God so much. And he told me yesterday, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
And he just keep telling me, stay the course.
Yes.
You know, Stephanie isn't working, but she's in her purpose, walking confidently, you know, in her purpose. I'm not working. And this is what I pray for, not knowing, because God, you know, I wish I had time to do this. I wish I could be more creative. I wish that I could start the events that I want to have. And here I am, company closed. Yes. And I started my first event. You know, I had that September 1st. And I'm working on my next book. I forgot to talk about that in the beginning. So it's an anthology. I will be with
Okay.
49 other authors. It's a
Mhm.
book of 50 authors, and it's 100 words of inspiration.
That is beautiful.
So I'm happy. I'll have my own chapter. It's releasing November 6th. Yes. I'm so excited. So God is just always working. You know, everything is always working for our good, and I'm just so grateful for His love, for loving us in spite of the bond that you and I have, you know, and it's all God.
Yes.
You know, we always talking about God and stuff. So I'm just happy, and I thank you again for being a part of More to the Story, the podcast.
And I thank you for having me,
Jada. Thank you for sharing your stories. You guys, thank you for listening.
Yes.
Always tuning in. Make sure you follow 360 Extensions on Instagram. And what's your phone number one more time?
708-483-2219.
That is Stephanie Robinson. She got the hair, the bundles, the wigs, whatever you need. Thank you for House Hill Media for always hosting. Thank you for you guys for always listening and supporting. Until next time, because there is always more to the story.
Amen.